everybody. Welcome to Electrify Expo. We are here at the EV Reality Check booth, sponsored by GreenCars. This is day 2 of the event, and we're having great conversations with industry experts. Today we have Joe Thiel from Marquette Innovation. Joe, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks. I'm Joe Thiel. I'm the destination setter of Innovate Marquette SmartZone. SmartZone is a state-funded technology hub in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, where we are working very closely with the outdoor innovation industry as a segment. And we have an outdoor innovation fund, which I'm on the advisory board for, and we set that up about 2 years ago. We've invested in about 30 outdoor companies in the EV outdoor space and micromobility and outdoor products. We're also here at Electrify Expo to launch in the outdoor segment. So we work with the local university there, Northern Michigan University, and we are also a sister smart zone to Michigan Tech University and MTech Smart Zone, which is one of our partner ones. So Michigan set up 20 smart zones around the state, and it's a state-funded program to allow entrepreneurs to launch those businesses. And in the one in Marquette, we run that with my team there. And we're really focused on the outdoor innovation segment because that's a huge growing segment. But we're also focused in sustainable technologies. Obviously, if we have an outdoor growth in our economy and outdoor tourism, we want to be able to sustain our most valuable asset. And we also do creative tech and tech art, which is all your UX and UI interfaces, AI, programming logic code, digital marketing, and media are our focuses there.
Awesome. So you touched on outdoors, right? So somebody like myself who has a Rivian likes to get outdoors, but sometimes the locations are a little out in the middle of nowhere, and I don't have a charger that I can go to and charge, and that kind of defeats a little bit of the fun. So how are you making sure that I can get out there and have some fun?
Right, so we did a pretty big effort called Orion, which is Outdoor Recreation Innovation Action Network. We set up, we got an EDA grant to do that, and we did a electrified trails feasibility study. So we brought students in from University of Michigan and NMU with experts to look at how do we actually accomplish this. And that is actually one of the reasons why we actually, as the fund, invested in Electric Outdoors. So Electric Outdoors is here. They build a fully sustainable campsite canopy that has about a 2 kW battery in it that can charge your Rivian. And when we look at this, we look at curated immersive experiences. So in the future of outdoor recreation, what you'll find is you'll go onto your cell phone, you'll say, I want to go across all these trails on this 5-day trip across the UP, and we'll actually drop the electric outdoor units throughout that course that you choose and create an experience for you, so you do have the charging there and you have the confidence of that charging. That's the future of
Now,
outdoors.
You say drop the unit out there. For those people who didn't hear yesterday, right, and they didn't hear about Electric Outdoors, when you say drop the unit for me, what exactly are you talking about?
I'm actually taking this fully self-sustained, solar-powered campsite canopy unit that has water and shower and all the amenities, natural amenities you want. We physically pick that up in a containerized format, take it out there and drop it where you need it, and it's there. So you know on that track that it's going to be there when you need it.
Wow, so let's say I'm going up to the UP, right, and it's a trail system. There's nothing there. What kind of permission do you need, or what kind of things do I need to do to ensure that you can drop it there for me?
Yeah, right. So that's on our side. So that's with the local, state, federal, parks, and municipalities. So we've aligned all of that within what we call the Superior Trade Zone within Central UP. So you look at Central UP alone, Escanaba and Marquette, from Lake Michigan to Lake Superior, that whole region in between is aligned under the Superior Trade Zone. And all the trails and all the parks and everything there associated with it are all on this advisory board. And we've designated that area as an outdoor innovation zone. So anywhere in that zone, then you're aligned. So all of those entities then are working together on this toolkit that is exactly that experience. Now, you're talking about overlanding and you're talking about taking the vehicles out there, but that goes from micromobility devices, trails, walking paths, high speed, side by side, ATV, all of that. But that's all aligned, and we're aligning that. So we have to get approval with each one of those entities to make that happen, but that's in the process now.
Okay, so how long do you think it'll be before I could call you up and say, hey, I'm heading out to the UP, can you drop one of these for me?
Yeah, so I would say we're going to start off more designated, like dispersed camping sites that are larger that you can still get that immersive experience and you can drive to and have high-speed charging to the campsite now, and we're currently piloting that. But within the next 5 years, our vision is to have each one of the municipalities. So if you imagine this, the electric outdoor unit itself, a municipality can apply for grant funding through the federal government to be able to have that equipment as part of the municipality, right? And the municipality has a lot of land. So Actually the municipality is the one that has the employees and staff that's actually taking that out to the adventures within their community. So it's not like you have this one big central location taking everything. It's actually the community is aligning forces to be able to get these grants and buy those units to be able to then have them go from there. And they have a lot of land and they have a lot of campgrounds and things within their region.
Yeah, so they manage quite a bit.
Right. So when you went from region to region to region, you're actually working from municipality to municipality to municipality. But that's all collectively coordinated through a software platform called Connect Space that we've created. So that will then be managed by that. So they have to obtain the hardware, right, to be able to make it happen. So and that's what we're working on is for them to have this toolkit to apply for the funds to acquire the equipment. And then once they have the equipment on site, then they just go on and deliver it where you need it.
Okay. Now, that's one small segment, right? So I am the CEO and founder of Phoenix Foundation. It's a nonprofit that helps veterans get out into the outdoors, explore, and kind of distress and get their mind clear, grounding, and all these different things, right? One of the biggest issues that myself and other nonprofits that help veterans have is being able to get veterans out to these areas that have mobility issues. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you have considered?
Absolutely. So if you look at this, what we want to look at in terms of products, our core competency now we're working on is actually limited mobility and no mobility. So there's 4 different segments of mobility. You have advanced mobility, which is these guys jumping the dirt bikes down here at 90 miles an hour. You got general mobility, which is a general user who can, maybe a 5 to 10 mile hike. And you have limited mobility, which is more like the last mile. They want to walk, but they want to have an EV, a micromobility to take them the 8 miles to the last mile, and then no mobility. So the first time ever, because of electrification of everything, because of batteries and the technology that we have, in exoskeletons, tank track wheelchairs, the rig devices, for the first time, that person can actually lead the adventure.
Wow, okay.
And that technology is viable now. We're within 12 to 15, 18 months where that technology has emerged so much that we actually have that usable, where all these campgrounds and all these trails can have that. And Michigan actually has tank track wheelchairs at many of their existing outdoor recreation trailheads now.
So how, myself, right, with my foundation, how would I be able to get a hold of the people that I need to get a hold of so I can take veterans out and use these tank tracks and all that?
Great example. So that is partnering with the campgrounds, and we're doing that now. So the campgrounds that are in the Marquette region, in our region, we've already expressed this need to them. We're already doing market and research on it. And so they would be the ones that they would then acquire the equipment there. So I could actually get you linked in to take those veterans to the existing Michigan trailheads that have that equipment now. But we definitely want to expand that significantly within our region. Again, in that central UP region as a target audience. There's about 33 million Americans, right, within that limited mobility and no mobility space. That's a huge market demographic. And we can target market to them specifically for these adventures. And as you know, many of these individuals have a lot of accommodations that they need by all their friends who have been helping them get out there and do all this stuff with them, right? Well, now imagine them with this technology, they can lead the adventure. Well, their friends are still going to come, right?
Yeah.
But so instead of them, they get this cool equipment, and all their friends are on an e-bike now, and they have this cool, 5-day adventure for the first time.
Right.
The other cool thing is that we can design the electric outdoor units and these other drop canopy units to be ADA compliant. So you actually have an ADA compliant unit sitting there for them as the kind of their home space. Right. And then you can have their friends disperse or regular camping or overlanding with them in that experience, but they still have, be able to get the wheelchair up, and they have, accommodations in there for bathroom and things. So all that technology that's emerging right now is key for those individuals to have this type of experience. And now, again, adventure tourism. So we are actually partnering with the university now, and there's a outdoor recreation master's program at Northern Michigan University. We're actually partnering with those students now as their senior projects to create adventure tourism experiences for people with disabilities, people who can do like nature bathing, they can do yoga in the woods, they can do grounding. We have environmental stewardship programs so that those veterans not only go up there and have the experience, but they learn about all those things. So they might not know those techniques, right? They might not know what Kriya Yoga is.
Stuff they don't even
know
exists.
What grounding is, right? They don't know that these native plants are there, and we have to go put all this vegetation back the way that it was to keep it sustainable. Right. That industry and the adventure tourism industry is also growing significantly at the same time to create those adventures when they get there and teach them all about it.
Wow, that's absolutely fantastic. I'm glad we had the opportunity to talk, because that's something I've been trying to figure out, how to get more veterans out to these adventure sites, right?
Yep.
And I know a buddy of mine, Battleheart Foundation, who's another foundation that I work with quite a bit, down in Texas. He had the same issue where, somebody wanted to go out to do some camping, do some hiking, do some stuff, but he has no idea how to figure out how to get him there because he's in a wheelchair.
Yep.
So it's great that there's actually people out there doing this stuff and figuring it out. how do we get a hold of you? How do the people online go and find you to get more information?
Right, you go to innovatemarquette.org, and you can go there and check it out. You can contact us there. I would love to get in touch with your groups that you're involved with right now and build a setup with the campgrounds that we have partnerships with, like Kona Hills. There's others, Rippling River, Raging River, that are up in Marquette, who want to do this. But they're just not sure, like, is this, do we have the right tools? Do we have the right demo? So we would want to do like a customer discovery with that group, with your group. We would set all that up. We would run that internally. We'd work with those campgrounds to make sure that we had the amenities and things that they needed, and then we would just launch it. We have partnerships with those campgrounds to be able to do that. We have the technology viable now. So we would get a hold of rig with the rig units. We would get a hold of all the other things that they need in terms of technology and make sure it was done correctly, and we would do it.
So obviously you have to partner as well with the companies, right? With companies like Jackrabbit and Electric Outdoor and all these other companies.
Yep.
How do you get a hold of these companies? How do you find them?
Yeah, so we actually just physically go to these types of shows, and we just call them online, contact them, let them know. The original units, so we got a grant from the federal government. It was amazing, under the EDA Build to Scale grant and the USDA RISE grant, to actually purchase all this equipment from all these vendors. So we have a land, we have the rigs, we have all the equipment already in-house. And we've modified and made accommodations on most of that stuff. Okay. We're actually taking the 2 rig units. We've got a 4-wheel unit for children and a 4-wheel unit for adults. We're actually donating that to a local organization in Marquette that works with people with disabilities, so that they can use that equipment too. But we have the equipment. We've already contacted them, purchased it. We've made relationships with them. They're very excited about that. So we've done that over the last couple of years by purchasing their equipment and working directly with them.
Okay, so just to round this out a little bit and to kind of finish off here. So Marquette is just one area, right? Mm-hmm. I assume there's other areas in the state and other states that are also doing stuff like this?
Not as cool as Marquette.
Obviously.
So if you look at it as a central UP region, right? So if you look at Marquette, it's kind of the crown jewel of the Upper Peninsula, right? If you go directly south down to Escanaba, which is on Lake Michigan, that whole corridor in between is the central UP. So it's Alger, Marquette, and Delta County, right? If you look at who converges in that space, you're going all the way over to St. Louis and you're going all the way over to Pittsburgh and everybody in between, right? So the northern Midwest corridor. So our goal, long term, is to model this in northern Michigan, in the UP. And then we've already partnered with and wrote a grant last year, even though the EDA program got delayed for a year, with Wausau, Wisconsin. So northern Michigan, northern Wisconsin, and northern Minnesota, partnering that together as a northern corridor, right, under the same methodology, right? Because that's the pipeline of people coming up into the northern region.
Right,
and that's the most pristine area pretty much in the United States for outdoor recreation, right? Yeah. So we already have plans to expand west and go to Wisconsin and Minnesota and share that with them, and we're doing that currently. We're communicating with them all the time. Okay,
and so obviously you're partnered with Jackrabbit, you're partnered with some of these other companies. Can you name a few other companies that you're partnered with?
Yeah, so a lot of the companies we actually are, if you look at our website on the Outdoor Innovation Fund, right, so you see the Michigan Outdoor Innovation Fund, you'll see LEVAC there, you'll see Electric Outdoors there, you'll see so many others. We were doing some stuff with Vulcan, Trail Barrel, which is a Chore Barrel, which is like a electrified wheelbarrow system that we're working on right now for something really cool. Okay. There's so many to list, but many.
Wow.
And many that at the show here we've talked to, like we come to the show, we sit down talking, hey, we have this program, we can help innovate with your companies, and many of the companies that are here too may become clients in the near future too.
Awesome. Well, Joe, it was great talking to you. I appreciate your time. Is there anything, last words you'd like to say?
Well, if you haven't been into the UP yet, you need to get there. It's the coolest place on the planet. There's still areas of the UP that are so untouched right now that you can literally have to listen for the waterfall, right, to get there. So it's pretty untapped region. I think if you have a good environmental stewardship, you want to experience something new and different. We do have high-speed charging in Munising. So if you want to do Pictured Rock Tour, we do have high-speed chargers there. We do have high-speed chargers in Marquette. So you can do Presque Isle Loop and the just around Marquette. And then Houghton also has high-speed chargers. We got a grant last year to put high-speed through there. So start off in Mackinac or go in Wisconsin. Cross over either on the west side in Ironwood and go to the Black River Valley, Ontonagon area, Lake of the Clouds, things you probably never heard of that are super amazing. Work your way over to Marquette, or come up the other way through Mackinac, Munising, Marquette to Houghton, and experience it. It's really cool.
Well, that's great. Okay, Joe, thank you very much.
You got it.
This is the EV Reality Check booth, sponsored by GreenCars.